What's up, gamers? This is JamesBl0nde from OnRPG.com. We're going to take a look at a crazy looking game called Xotic. Now, Xotic is your not so typical arcade style first person shooter with dusty canyons, underground tunnels, destroyed cities that are all painted with these vibrant fluorescent colors that you might think look pretty cool under a blacklight. The character you play sort of resembles Jack from The Nightmare Before Christmas wearing a plant outfit. And you carry around a weapon that looks like a giant bug that can be upgraded to 8 different weapons as you gain experience every couple of levels. The orb is this life-sucking red glob that's all over the plants in each of the levels, and your character has been designed and created specifically to eliminate the orb. You do this with a technique the game calls terraforming, and it seems to remind me of cleaning up the place like you would in Super Mario Sunshine. Along with the orb, there are 3 different types of enemies in the game. You got monsters, turrets, and enemy spawners. The hell is that, an anthill? You typically encounter the orb in large clusters throughout the level, lined up on the ground and the walls, and when you shoot one, it causes a chain reaction between all the surrounding clusters. Now the objective is to try to keep these chains going as long as possible to rack up the points. And during the period where the chain stops, you only have about 5 seconds before the chain dies and kills your chance for bonus experience. Jumping around trying to catch all the little colorful hourglasses called orb essence is another way to increase your score and collect aerial combos. And the game gives you a very strange way of getting the essence that ended up way over your head. You create these hard holograms which act like platforms that you can land on at the apex of your jump. These can help you reach some of these high places, as you can see here. You can use the holograms as a shield, but I probably wouldn't recommend it, seeing that you can't shoot through them either. Yet another way you can rack up big points is by locating and hunting down these weird looking things called brains. The game says the brains help the orb control the minds of its victims. Most of these are out in plain sight, but sometimes you gotta look around and find them. Amongst other things, the game has a lot of add-ons like time extends, multipliers, regenerate, energize, and speed shot that are really helpful when it comes to playing fast while keeping your points high. Now amongst these add-ons, there's one called Flight. Now I didn't use this a whole lot, considering that it was pretty easy to make holograms, and that you never really run out of holograms. The enemies in the game are pretty easy. I would use the primary and secondary weapons to give them the shock and drop treatment. The game is set up where you gain experience for completing the level, along with creating long chains. With experience, you can upgrade your character by enabling him to have more health, take less damage, gain more energy, and absorb health and energy from further distances. You also get to upgrade from about 8 different weapons. There are 4 different areas to conquer, and in these 4 areas are 4 to 5 different levels containing 2 types of gameplay. Your standard level where you fight enemies, and your bonus levels that you see here where you have no enemies to worry about, just time. There are a couple things in the game that I didn't quite favor, like one being although there are 8 different styles of weapons, most use too much energy to use without power-ups, and so I avoided them. I found that it was just as easy to use the primary weapon and shock as the secondary weapon to complete the levels fast. There's also a snap feature that allows you to get closer to cover, but I never used that. It probably would have saved me from dying a couple times. Other than that, the game was kind of short. But the idea is to go back and try to beat your high scores, I guess. Another thing that got frustrating after a while was the jumping mechanics. You tend to glide around a lot. This makes it especially difficult when you have to jump on these ledges to collect some of the essence. But I suppose it made the game a little bit more challenging. Anyway guys, that's my rundown of Xotic. If you like this video and want to learn more about Xotic, or a lot of other games, be sure to check out OnRPG.com and subscribe. This is JamesBl0nde. See you out there, gamers.